know what I've noticed last time? I've watched way too much Netflix ever since the pandemic started.
Just one day sitting, and then all of a sudden you were like...
Everything kind of came, I was in the shower and I was like, I'm watching way too much Netflix. Or what do you mean?
Were you in a self-improvement journey and
Pretty
came
much
to that realization, or what happened?
I think I was like, man, what am I doing with my life? I don't know if you call it midlife crisis or so, but no, I'm just watching way too much Netflix. I think I don't know if it's the pandemic. I'm also I love watching movies and shows. Like, TV is like a big source of entertainment for me.
What have you been watching in Netflix?
To be honest, I just started rewatching The Walking Dead, the whole thing.
They have that on Netflix?
Oh, yeah. I just started, I watched the whole thing. Well, I'm starting to watch the whole thing, so I think I'm on season 2, but I've been binging maybe 3 episodes every day. So what is that? I mean, and the episodes for The Walking Dead, I think they're about an hour or so long. So
I've never seen The Walking Dead, but I figured that it's a 1 hour.
You do know that I have the comics right there.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, for sure. But I've never.
And you're talking to me.
I've literally never watched a single episode of The Walking Dead.
Where have you been this whole time?
This
is how crazy this sounds, right?
Said.
It's like me saying I've never watched Game of Thrones. That was such a big show. Even this was the whole Walking Dead was, I think it got popular once. Okay, Breaking Bad. Did you get to watch Breaking Bad?
Yeah, I love it.
It was those two big shows, and Dexter. I don't know if you watched Dexter.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
except the last 4 seasons.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, it's 8 seasons. Basically, I like half.
Wait, Dexter or Breaking Bad?
Dexter.
Oh yeah, it got weird. It got weird.
Breaking Bad was one of those shows where they did it right. It's
they ended it when we needed to end it.
5 seasons, if I can remember correctly.
Yeah, that's kind of the tricky part, right? Because it does. Some people judge how good a series was based on how many seasons they were able to push out, but honestly, it's not it. There's some Dexter is a perfect example where it started getting really weird. Not weird, but
struggling.
It's struggling to find a good way to tie everything up and end it how they wanted it to end it.
And it gets boring.
Yeah,
when that happens.
Yeah, well, not even boring. It's just it doesn't have that right, or that mystery, especially for those kind of seasons where it's it's kind of the mystery that kind of keeps you there and the twistiness. But even then, it got a little unrealistic, right?
Yeah,
and that's actually as much of The Walking. I don't want to spoil it if you're going to watch it, but for The Walking Dead too, as somebody that read the comics and is listening to the series or watching the series too, I think where they may have missed it is when they diverted a little bit too much from the comic, and then they, not saying that it's bad, but where they lost it is they went on a tangent on a couple of things, and then in order to bring it back to the way the comic was working, it just didn't work, and some things got a little too much, or they focus on things that maybe they shouldn't. I think that's where the series itself, I think more or less, I think they're 9 seasons in, but first few seasons are great, amazing, and then there's probably 1 or 2 seasons where it goes you may lose some interest, but then it picks right back up and you're hooked again. So definitely watch it.
Overall, you liked it, given that you had.
I'm rewatching the whole thing.
So you were a fan of The Walking Dead
before it was, yeah.
So you were one of those
one of those
that you knew that this existed, and then you were excited because that the show was gonna come out, and then you watched it and you were like, this is insane. I love it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's I mean it's a good comic. By the way, the comic is, I don't know if you read comics. I'm assuming you don't.
No,
but
I don't.
Yeah, you're lame.
I don't hate them. I just don't.
It's not your thing. Yeah. No, it's think about it. The comic was drawn in black and white. So there in itself, to make a comic be so successful and interesting in black and white is really hard.
But that was intentional. It's not
intentional.
That The Walking Dead is...
Yeah, it's not old or anything.
Super old.
No. It's just the creator of it thought the black and white would be the the thing that would take into like those kind of times where like, you know, people were, you know, making movies about zombies, you know, it goes with the theme of zombies. So the fact that it's that good in black and white, and, you know, it was able to bring that many people, it just tells you how good the comic is, right? It's not as catchy, right? There's no flashy colors or anything like that. Much good content on Netflix. Netflix, if you want to be a sponsored, I'm sorry, Costco, but you may be the second or the runner up on that one.
Costco, Coke, Mickey D's are all fighting for sponsorship.
I could. Well, I don't think we'll take anybody, but yeah, Mickey D's.
Popeyes. You were raising about the chicken sandwich.
So no, wait. Before we go there, you should say something to the listeners out there that I still can't believe that you haven't done it. But what did you just tell me about Popeyes just before we started the podcast?
What, that I haven't tried the chicken
Yes,
sandwich?
What the hell?
Well, I haven't tried the chicken sandwich. What do you want me to do?
It's not a chicken tender. It's a sandwich. It's so bomb, dude. Like, everybody and their mothers has already like tried the chicken sandwich like so many times. This thing exploded like last year, and you're barely now like thinking about trying it.
But how do you, I never even heard that this chicken sandwich was a thing. Like, how
did you know about it?
Where do you?
How did you know about it?
Because I went on next door. No, I went on next door.
You boomer.
And then I saw all the neighbors, you know, talking, like, complaining.
Of course, they are. It's next door. Everybody
complaining about the traffic situation that was being, you know, caused by Popeyes.
To all our listeners, this guy's complaining about traffic on a Popeyes. Like, well, actually, it's not you complaining. It's
I was
a guy
reading about
it. But
I could care less. But that's the only reason and in the comments in this particular post, everyone was saying like, oh, it's because of the chicken sandwich or whatever. And I was like,
what the fuck? What's up with the chicken sandwich?
Yeah, and that's why, you know, I asked you and you brought it up, and you also, you know, thought that it is great and it's like the best thing.
I don't think it's great. I know it's great.
That's ever happened to
the chicken sandwich world. Yes.
Human, as a society, next
chicken
to the
sandwiches.
polio vaccine.
We'll buy different chicken sandwiches, and I'll have you blind taste all of them. And I bet you're going to pick the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Okay. From different fast foods.
Yeah, like, we'll buy different chicken sandwiches. King, you'll try,
McDonald's.
I'll buy you whatever chicken sandwich you think can beat a Popeyes chicken sandwich, and I know you're going to pick Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Okay.
Popeyes is not a sponsor.
Deal.
But
you're going to pay for all of those chicken sandwiches, okay, and I'll just eat them.
Let's do it. Whoa. Remember that I'm really frugal. If you pick...
Well, use your T-Mobile Tuesday coupon.
Well, wait for a coupon then. This video is going to be in a year from now. By the time Stay tuned. No, but okay. So maybe we should make a video about that. If you pick another as your favorite chicken sandwich that is not Popeyes, I'll buy the sandwiches. But if you end up picking the Popeyes chicken sandwich, you buy them.
Okay. Deal.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, a deal has been made. I just made a lot of money again. Last time I made money from that soccer bet, by the way, too. So maybe I should show off about that.
You got lucky.
You got me so sidetracked with the Popeyes.
What were we talking about?
Netflix. Somehow we went from Netflix to having amazing...
The Walking Dead. That was,
Yeah. Well,
shows in general.
Well, okay. So how much time... maybe you're one of the weird ones because you're more into like the sports, but I guess it's still considered like a part of that streaming service family, right? Because you stream your sports channels, right?
Yeah.
So how much time do you think you're spending overall streaming? Actually, I'm curious, how much time do you think you're streaming on sports alone versus like your normal like Netflix? Is it like, are you actually using your account to the extent that you think you should be using it to like justify the cost?
I'd say yes.
Be honest, your wife is going to be listening to it.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Now, I'd say yeah, because I get the value in watching
Sports.
No, like specifically my like Liga MX, matches, which is something that before I had the streaming service, I just couldn't do. It's something that you can't watch on YouTube TV. You can't. I mean, obviously, there's always like illegal, his streaming.
Well, I don't know what you're talking
channels.
about.
Like you know what I'm talking about.
No, I do not know what you're talking about.
But it's always a pain. At least I haven't been able to find one good, reliable, illegal streaming service.
You mean allegedly you don't?
Right. Allegedly, yeah. That allows me to just, carelessly just go in, log in, and boom. Or not even log in, but just watch it.
Honestly,
so that's why at one point I was like, you know what? I'm just going to bite the bullet. Screw it. I'm just going to pay, and I'm just going to watch, a bunch. I'm going to get literally just by watching this soccer matches of my soccer team, which is Club America, the best team, and Liga MX, and allegedly the world.
You keep saying this every.
I get the value like that. To me, I'm like, boom. Yeah. But of course, I get a ton of other channel. I literally have. There's a channel where you can watch soccer from Ecuador, and like I never thought I'd live the day to watch like random leagues soccer matches. So yeah, yes, I feel like I get the value, and sometimes I come across the occasional really good game from a random from a random league, Argentina or Brazil or whatever, and definitely Europe champion, like everything. Yes, I feel like I do get value
so
out of it.
Because I asked, well, how much time a week?
Oh, and I'm talking about Fubo TV, by the way.
How much time a week or maybe a day do you think you spend actually using the app? Because, well, at least right now...
The soccer app specifically?
Because right now I think there's a lot of matches, but, there's like that seasons. I mean,
there's ups and downs, yeah.
So maybe on average, in a typical year, I think...
On a typical year where you don't have, tournaments like World Cup,
right?
Or Copa America, or any of that, which, there are years like that. Basically, summer is dead. There's no soccer during the summer. So I'd say it's probably maybe like 2 hours, just one match a week. Yeah,
because I mean,
maybe a little more. Maybe let's say 2 matches a week.
Is Fubo just for soccer too?
No, they have everything.
It's
called Fubo because they do. Let me I guess cater. Or they have a preference for soccer, but they have other sports.
So, are you streaming the matches, or are you streaming like ESPN?
Yeah, you're streaming the channel.
Gotcha.
Not the it's not like a sole match.
I don't know about Fubo. Anything about Fubo?
Yeah, but okay. Basically, you pay for Fubo, and then Fubo gives you access to ESPN and any other channels that actually have or air this matches.
And how much do you think it's Fubo a month?
There's different subscriptions, but the one I pay for is $33 a month.
Okay, because I want to say that I think most of the people that kind of ditch the cable, like era or the cable services, it's usually because either they're not a big fan of sports, or because definitely, like, in order for you to even have all that access to all the sports that you want to watch, it's like what makes that cable package usually the expensive is like the amount of sport channels that you have, because the sports are expensive.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why, like, when you say like $33, like, for some people it may be like, whoa, I pay for Netflix like $14 a month, like, that's crazy. But take into consideration that you're watching live matches, and that you have more or less probably, from what you're saying, access to pretty much a lot of the sports, and for you that are more of a soccer guy, like you get pretty much like 90% of all the soccer matches that you would care to watch.
Yeah. That's about right. Yeah, 90%.
Yeah. So that may be good. I mean, think about a pay-per-view, because I like to watch like UFC fights and stuff like that. A pay-per-view match for a UFC, it ends up costing you like 90 to like $100, $120 for
Really?
just one
I thought
card.
it was like 50 for
No,
some reason.
for one. No, because you need to buy the. First of all, you have to have ESPN, right? So you're already paying like a monthly fee. Then you have to buy the pay-per-view. So it ends up being like $100, for you to be able to watch that one card that night. So it's pretty pricey. Like it's not like if you can I can just go to like UFC and sign up for their pay-per-view and just pay the match. No, like you have to buy their services, and so it's expensive. That's just a fight. Now imagine if you want to watch a couple of soccer matches every year. I'd rather be paying a monthly. Yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, no, I mean, for me, I want to say that's the one thing that I kind of miss. I don't have like a sports streaming. I used to have a YouTube TV actually, and they had the sports.
Yeah.
I
got their free trial.
Oh yeah, me too.
Like 10
they didn't hook you
like
though?
10 times.
Oh. You're one of those guys.
I'm one of those. Yeah.
You know that we're pushing our channel through YouTube, right? they may tweak the algorithm so that
it is.
They may tweak the algorithm so that we never monetize, or we never become famous on this channel. They know. They know.
They know me.
They run their ads. I tried it for a couple. Yeah, you see, I tried it for March Madness to watch all the basketball games live. I want to say the interface is a little clunky, in my opinion, and I still don't think I can justify. I think it was like $60 a month if you were to continue it.
Now the price raised.
Oh yeah,
it used to be 30. I remember like 2-3 years ago. It used to be $30, and back then I thought
good.
$30 was kind of expensive, but 3 years ago. Now that they raised it to 60, I wish it was.
You wish you would have been grandfather into that.
Yeah,
plan.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want to say it was like 60. Then again, it includes a lot of stuff too, because I think for the Olympics, it included for example, I think it includes all the Olympic games. It includes ESPN, a couple of the ESPN channels, and on top of that, it still has like their YouTube TV, normal like the YouTube originals. And
they have like some like regular channels, right?
Yeah. So like,
as if you were watching
cable.
TV. Cable TV, yeah.
Yeah, so it's almost like if you're watching cable, but it's like not cable, right? It's all streamed.
Yeah.
And it you can watch it at any time. You don't have to have a specific time, except for live sports. Those have to be live.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that trial when I had it. It actually, I had the free trial and then I paid for a month.
Stop trying to justify the fact that you did 10 free accounts.
Yeah, at one point, having all the 10 other accounts, I did pay for it 1 month, but I remember it was great. It had pretty much all the content that I had, even in terms of sports, except the one that brings... The one that I want to watch the most, which again is, the Mexican Soccer League. And that was, if you compare YouTube TV and Fubo, that's what makes Fubo win to me, because it has that additional, streaming of the Mexican Soccer League. So that's why I went with Fubo. But if it wasn't because of that, if it weren't because of that, I would have been perfectly happy with YouTube TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, if YouTube TV, if you're listening, this is why you lost a couple of subscribers. Well, it's either way, it's expensive if you really think about it. Like the price. Maybe they should stop paying players so much money so that way they can lower the price of It's so much money, dude. They get paid. That's why the prices for the sports are expensive. Because yes, it's the amount that gets paid to the players, but also the amount of equipment needed to broadcast that kind of size of a stadium, live. It's expensive. It's expensive equipment. But anyways, that's a different topic.
Yeah.
The one that's still I'm unsure about I do have an account for. It's Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably like the newer, I want to say, type of streaming services, right? Because I think before the pandemic, I don't think Disney Plus was really a thing. And if it was, it wasn't.
It was just brand new.
It was just movies, though, right?
Disney Plus launched December of 2019, so it was just a couple months before lockdown.
You know way too much specifics. I need to know how you know those so much about.
I just remember because I also have Disney Plus, and we got it, the day it launched, and I remember it was December 2019. Did you make line? At my kitchen trying to grab some leftover pizza.
December of 2019, you say? Yeah. I mean, it's still pretty new. Perfect timing for the pandemic.
Yeah.
Maybe Disney started the pandemic.
Maybe.
That mouse has more to say than just... It's... Do not say that.
That was a pretty good Mickey Mouse
I have a really good Mickey Mouse impression. Oh, boy. So... I should work for Disney. Disney, if you're listening to this,
something's happening.
Yeah,
right. We're making history.
I wish I could do voiceovers. Anyways, so Disney Plus, that's the one that I feel a little iffy, and the reason for that is, well, one, I think the content is still kind of limited. I think they have like National Geographic, right, and things like that. That's actually what we've been watching as of late.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. But, and the reason why we ended up getting it was because I wanted to get caught up with the whole Mandalorian and I like the Star Wars.
Everything Star Wars. All the content they have.
Yeah. So, and Marvel too, to a point. Now I'm starting to get a little tired of the hero movies and stuff. But
why?
I just feel like they milked that cow enough, Like it's... You know what I'm saying? Like it's like it's like every year, and I'm big on comics. I love superheroes, but one thing is that the Disney format for superhero movies hasn't really changed too much. It's always the same formula where now they throw a little comedy there, the action is there. Amazing, special effects and all of that. Like Disney does an amazing job at that, but once again, I just feel like it's burned out. Maybe they need for it to like die down a little bit and bring it back to build some more desire for that kind of movies. But anyways, and the reason why I liked Disney Plus was because I was like, well, they're going to do series. So I want to see how that ends up, panning out versus like the movies. Because Netflix did an amazing job with like the Marvel series. I don't know if you watch any of the Marvel. Dude, you're killing me. Smalls.
Any of the Marvel what?
They have okay, write this down. So when you go home, you're gonna watch Daredevil on Netflix, and then you're gonna watch Luke Cage, and then what's another good one? Do not watch Iron Fist until the very end. Anyways, you're gonna see, just type Marvel on Netflix, and you'll see the difference that I'm talking about. Where Netflix went a little bit darker, a little bit more serious, and of course that they have less budget. I mean, Disney can do whatever the hell they want. They're Disney. They control pretty much media. People that aren't even like superheroes ended up liking these series, like The Punisher. Like if you watch the Punisher series, is like really good. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of good stuff that you see on Netflix. And Disney, like I said, it's the one where I can't justify, because I also think that they kind of cater to like the kid kind of audience, where it's more like about the cartoons, more about, if you want to watch like an old Mulan movie, like that's kind of like a parent, like a family. I don't have kids, and maybe that's why I don't find that much enjoyment out of the Disney.
Yeah, much value.
Yeah, like,
but you still watch it. I mean, you watch anything Star Wars related.
Yeah, but I already finished the season.
Okay. I mean, you don't rewatch stuff. You're not there sitting on the random Tuesday watching The Mandalorian.
So, I mean, I have the Blu-rays, right? So, like, for the movies, I rather watch the movies on Blu-ray because they look better on the Blu-ray than on the stream.
Okay.
And then for The Mandalorian, I just watched it, and honestly, oh man, I may make a lot of enemies, but first half of that season wasn't that great, in my opinion. Damn, we just lost like half of our subscribers or something. But
so 2 subscribers.
So did I lose you?
Yes.
I mean, my wife and I watched it. The Grogu hype. I mean, damn you. I'm gonna go into a rant now.
Go.
The new Star Wars movies haven't been as great as I hoped. They were too cheesy for me. I mean, Star Wars is cheesy in itself, but some of the things were like, I was like, no. Have you watched the Star Wars movies, or how much are you into Star Wars?
Not all of them.
Okay.
I'd say I'm not into Star Wars. I've watched the movies.
The new ones, or
I
like the ones that just came out like a couple of years ago?
No, I've only seen. Well, actually, yeah. I the only one that I have not seen, I want to say it's called Rogue One.
Rogue One.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. I think that's the only one that I haven't seen. But outside of that, I've watched all of them. Well, whatever.
Even if you haven't watched the movie, I think this may have been Rogue One. But there is like things that I was like, okay, this is really far fetched. Like there's a scene where it became a meme of Leia traveling through like space. I don't mean like space and time. Like I mean like spaces in like outer space.
Yeah, with like stars and stuff.
Yeah. And they made a meme of her, like a flying neon cat.
Yeah, but I haven't seen that meme, but I get it.
And the other thing is, they just got too cheesy with some of the things where there's
Like,
a scene where Luke
I was going to give examples.
There is a scene
cheesy?
where
Because,
Luke I don't want to spoil it, but there's a scene where Luke Skywalker literally gets given his old lightsaber, and this Luke Skywalker is already old, right? And they find him, and they're like, oh man.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And
that's in one of the.
He throws the lightsaber to the back, like if he doesn't care.
When he's like training and stuff.
Yeah, he just looks at the lightsaber and he goes like, huh, and then throws it away. I was like, what? Like even you see, this is Disney trying to put the Disney formula and trying to make bring like the comedy into their movies that just kind of just didn't go
like
right.
The same type of comedy they have like in the Avengers
stuff like that. And I go like, that was not necessary. I get it, like fit in a couple of jokes, but that was a little not offensive, for like that. Even if, as much as a fan I am, I appreciate the comedy on some of this stuff. It was just out of place. And then Disney has that formula too, where they try to introduce something cute. For the new movies, it was the Sporks. I think they're called, or Sponks.
I think so. I think I remember.
I'm gonna put a picture here, but
and also what's the name of this guy?
BB-8.
Well, BB-8, and then in the very last one, like the last Skywalker or something.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I think that's the name. In that movie, there's this crap. It's the name like. I don't.
What is it?
I was gonna say like
bug?
Bubba something, like that little dude that freaking. I was gonna say like operates pretty much on C-3PO. Remember, there's like this little guy on his name.
But you know what? It's
yeah,
a cute,
but like little cute.
A cute.
Yeah.
The only reason why they make those cute, things is because they want to be able to make a toy or like a plush that they're able to sell. That's the intent of that thing,
It works, yeah.
And it works, yeah. I'm not saying, people go for it, but it's just, once again, that Disney formula, right? That you started with Grogu, right? They knew that Yoda is like one of the big characters for them. And then here comes Baby Yoda, right? Mm-hmm. And let's not put a name to it. People are going to start calling him like Baby Yoda because, like,
so that's Baby Yoda.
It's Baby Yoda. And
it's a baby Yoda.
So, but you see that? That's what I mean. It's oh God, I'm gonna get so much hate from my friends. But actually, no, some of my friends agree. Like it's Star Wars cheesy normally, yes. Is it that cheesy? Now, it's even more cheesy now, and it's a little bit like unsettling. But anyways, that's my rant. Please don't unsubscribe. What are you watching on Netflix? Because I'm watching The Walking Dead, and I want to see like on normal basis. I do I watch a lot of the anime that they have in there, and I'm really liking their docuseries. That's in general what I'm watching. I don't know what you're watching.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I watch too.
Anime? You're not an anime kind of guy.
Nah, I mean I wouldn't say I've probably watched maybe 2-3 of like the super famous ones. So I wouldn't say I'm an anime guy, but I don't mind it. I just haven't gone down a rabbit hole, but I feel like I could any moment.
Now I'm curious, what kind of anime does Jona watch?
just random, like whatever you're. I watched Death Note and I loved it.
Oh,
Attack on Titan,
Ooh.
and I haven't finished it, but I love it. Another one that I haven't finished, and I'm not even sure if it's on Netflix, but I think it's Evangelion. That one I haven't finished it. I watched it when I was a kid, and then as I was growing up, I've been watching kind of like piecemealing it a little bit, and I like it.
So you like the serious kind of anime, it seems.
I guess
like Death Note, kind of like that.
Yeah.
Not too far fetched.
Yeah,
well, not far fetched, but like.
Well, Death Note is. If you don't consider, yeah.
Okay, wait. Something. Fun fact. Did you know that actually when that, I don't know if this is why you started watching it, but when Death Note started becoming famous in Japan, they considered canceling the show because people were actually thinking that the guy's name's Kira, the one writing the Death Note, right? People were committing suicide because of the series. Because they had such a big, they thought it was, not that they thought it was real, they thought of like the whole concept of having somebody control over somebody's life should be or could be something that exists, and then they would just start committing suicide, and then they would write basically, Kira saved me, and like that's how they knew that it had to do with Death Note.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And do not watch the movies, by the way, the live action movies.
Yeah, I tried and I hated it. Like I was 5 minutes in and I was like, what the hell is this?
Get out of here.
Yeah, I stopped watching. But the anime, I loved it. I probably watched like 4, maybe 5. And that definitely, I can say it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's
it's my favorite.
It is.
I loved it. Like it blew my mind when I watched it. I was like, holy shit! Like I love it. I love it. It was. Well, it's a freaking thriller.
It's a good concept, right?
Yeah, it's a good concept. The whole Shinigami concept, like I fucking love that.
Yeah.
So it just blew my mind, and yeah, I loved it.
Nice. Well, now I know what to get you for a birthday present. Just because Death Note is one of my favorites.
Right? Yeah. It's I like it, and I guess other type of stuff. And I don't even know. This is how little I know about whole animes and at least specifically pertaining to that. Manga, all that stuff. But other ones, yeah. I mean, you could definitely put in Dragon Ball Z in there. I definitely like Dragon Ball Z.
I don't think, is that in
Dragon Ball,
Netflix?
Dragon Ball Z. I don't know. Maybe
so.
a movie, but not
Yeah,
like
maybe they put the occasional
series
movie
or whatever. Yeah. And I think that's pretty much it.
So for docu-series, though, what are you watching? Like the crime ones?
Oh, I love those ones for sure. I don't want to. I can't say that I watch all of them, but maybe at least the famous one.
I have to ask. Did you watch? I think it's Making a Murderer.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I just think Netflix is actually doing a really good job narrating and maybe catching the story before it even becomes a thing, right? Like I didn't even know about this guy.
Me neither.
And the way they operate, the way they recorded, the way they got consent from the families to like follow them and everything, it's done really well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Making a Murder is definitely one of. It's got to be one of the.
I would say maybe the
most
first,
famous ones. Shows on Netflix for sure. It's got to be.
Well, they have The Staircase. Have you watched that?
I haven't watched that one. Is that good?
It's not as good as Making a Murderer, but what takes you there is the you have to watch it. It's like well, I don't know if you watch Joe Rogan, right? I think that dude.
I know who he is, and I've watched his podcast a little bit.
He had the guys that make it's called Wrongful Convictions. It's a pair of guys that started this whole movement of wrongful convictions. Mm-hmm. He actually created like some of the docu-series that you watch. So The Staircase is one of them, and then they have a series where it's just wrongful convictions, and they go through like all the a couple of
like famous
cases.
Ones or whatever. Yeah,
not famous. They're just voicing out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Another. Yeah. So it's speaking of murder. Okay. Staircase. I'm gonna put it in my list. But yeah, there's other like I think it's called American Monster. It's about a recent case about a dude that killed his family.
Oh.
Like wife and kids. And then there's another one that I watched. I don't know, like Murder at Night. It's about this serial killer that was up in the Bay Area. And like LA was hitting LA and the Bay Area. I'm blanking on the name.
Oh, is it the one where it's like an Asian girl that he... No?
I think so. The dude is a Mexican guy. Like the killer is a Mexican guy, but he kills all kinds of, mostly like old people, I think.
Oh, no. Yeah, anyways, there's a great job.
There are a bunch of those that, but mostly I watched that. Most recently I watched, I told you I watched Movies That Made Us show. Yeah. And then there's also, and I think this one is new. It's called The Tyrant's Playbook or something like that.
Never heard of it.
And they talk about the different, tyrants that there's been in recent times. You know, they talk about Hitler. They talk about Saddam Hussein. They talk about Gaddafi. They talk about Mao Zedong. They talk about Kim Jong-il.
Oh.
And Fidel Castro. And they talk about...
Wait, they put Fidel Castro's the tyrant? Oh.
Yeah, I mean...
Interesting.
Yeah, he's up there. Stalin, another big
actually,
one.
you have to watch... I forgot the name of the documentary. But this is just to say how good documentaries are on Netflix right now. There's a guy, I think it's called Cameron Cuba. Anyways, it's a guy that covers Fidel Castro's regime throughout, basically from start to finish, and he's traveling to Cuba pretty much every year.
Oh wow, it sounds very interesting.
And he lives
on
there.
Netflix.
Yeah. No, like definitely watch it. The guy, I think he produced. He had all of the footage is his. So he did like a social experiment where he took his camera and he's doing the whole narrating. Like he basically produced and edited. Like everything was done by this one guy. It's not like a network. It's not like, it's just one guy like truly doing a biography or somebody. Like this is like true I would consider this like true journalism for a biography, right? Because the guy really follows him. He's living it and he just explores all that. But watch it, is really good. I think it's I'll send it to you, but I'll put the actual name and the cover here on the space so that people can watch it. It's a good one. It's just such a good quality. You can tell. I think he may have won a couple of awards too from it. But yeah, documentaries are freaking amazing on Netflix. Like I'm guessing from what you're saying. So would you say that you're using your Netflix more than any of the other streams that you have at home?
Yeah. Hands down.
How about Hulu? Do you have Hulu?
I do have Hulu.
Because Hulu is owned by, is technically Disney, right?
I think. I don't know, to be honest, but it wouldn't surprise me.
They own pretty much everything.
Given that they're bundled together, where they give you, Hulu and Disney Plus and ESPN. I'm assuming that Disney owns everything.
I was surprised too when I found out that Disney owns ESPN.
Yeah,
I was really surprised. I didn't know there were so much deep.
It was kind of like in recent years that Disney started buying everything.
I think they have on ESPN for at least, I want to say 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, sounds about right.
Yeah, they're just massive.
Yeah, but basically when they started the streak of, buying, Fox and
that's right, because they bought the Simpsons,
and then all the studios, whatever, when they started, because that's why you can watch the Simpsons and Disney Plus, all that. Damn,
they got all the good ones.
Yeah, so they pretty much, it was a streak where they started buying everything.
You have to watch Demon Slayer on Hulu.
Okay, what type of show is it?
Just shut up and watch it.
Demon. Okay, so
you're gonna.
I have
This
like
may
3
be
shows now.
your top. You know, I know how you like Death Note, but you're gonna because I think it came with Fox, but they Hulu bought Demon Slayer as an anime, but the way they animated it's one of a kind. I don't think I've seen it anywhere else. Like it's really good. Anyways, back.
Okay.
You have way too much info now.
Yeah.
You're not gonna sleep tonight. Okay, so I'll go through the list of things that I own as far as streaming service, and then you tell me what you have. But I more or less have a Netflix account, Hulu. I do have Disney Plus, and I do YouTube. I don't know if I should consider this because it's technically not a streaming service, but it assists me into my streaming, consumption, which is YouTube Premium.
Okay. Yeah, counted. It's a subscription.
It's a subscription, yeah. So I don't know what you have on your list.
So I have Netflix, Hulu. I have the bundle. I have Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN Plus. Have HBO Max. Have Spotify, Fubo, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, and that's it.
Now, actually, I don't know about this, but Amazon Prime, is that... I mean, is it because you're actually using the streaming service, or is it more their shipping and shopping?
It's primarily because of the shipping, and an added bonus is the streaming.
Because it's free, right? The streaming is not like if you pay extra.
Yeah, you don't pay extra.
I think you were going to cancel eventually, like Apple TV, and like you have actually considered, or you already just did cancel like a couple of those
I think we
right?
we canceled Apple TV and maybe HBO Max, but we just canceled it. We had it.
Yeah. And the math is people are gonna be like, well, the math doesn't work, but I'm paying about $40 a month for all my streaming services. But the reason for that is because I'm sharing accounts with other people. And it's more the accounts that maybe we don't use that often.
Yeah, that's really low.
So how much you think you're spending a month?
I just did the math, $141.
Oh, yikes. So that is like basically $100 more than me.
Yeah.
And is that with the services that you have canceled?
A little bit, actually. Yeah. I guess if I remove the services that I have canceled, and technically Netflix is paid for by my cell phone plan.
You mean T-Mobile? Don't it's T-Mobile.
Yeah, T-Mobile. So about like $66.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah.
30, 15. Yeah, about $66.
That's not too bad. That's Fubo included, right? Because Fubo takes like half of that.
Fubo included, yeah. Fubo is definitely the most expensive one that I currently have.
Yeah, so but we were just curious to find out like how much people are spending on average, right, on channels. So what do you think? Are you with the majority as far as how much you're spending a month?
It's like 60.
Like, are you below the average, or do you think you're above the average?
I think I'm below the average. All
right. So according to a story from PC Magazine, it says customers say they'll be paying an average of $33.27 per month for all their streaming services combined.
No way.
Yep.
That's impossible.
So how much are you paying?
$66.
So you're definitely above the average.
That doesn't make any sense.
And I'm also a little bit above the average myself. Yeah.
Yeah. That cannot be. That can't.
That's
be
your
right.
Fubo.
Because if you just have Netflix and you throw in whatever, like Amazon or Spotify, then I mean, I'm sure. I don't know. I don't know if there's people out there that have way more subscriptions, or at least about the same as I do. I cannot believe that.
No, I mean, it has to be, dude. Okay, think about it like me. I'm at $40 and I'm already... So Hulu is like my new gym membership. I barely use it or don't even go at all, and I just pay for it every month. But I mean, I mean, if I remove Hulu, I'm literally below the average by like $7.
Wow.
So
I guess I need to cut 30. Yeah, I need to cut Fubo. Yes.
So this study is from 2019, right? And it's nice because it kind of breaks it down. So we'll see where we're at. But once again, this is like from PC Magazine. But they say 40% of the people that answer their survey, they pay up to $20 on their streaming services. So for me, that's very little. I mean,
pretty much just having Netflix.
Yeah,
basically,
they're just having Netflix, and for me, I mean, honestly, I would have to have at least Netflix, and I can't live without my YouTube Premium. I just hate ads on YouTube. Sorry. If we were monetized, they're gonna put in that. But I do. I rather pay, and I mean that's why you're paying, right? Because you don't want the ads, and that justify. That's how you can make your get your money's worth. But so I mean, there alone, I'm that's my above $20. So it is like you're saying, it's just Netflix. Now 31% of them are spending between 21 and 40. So I'm in the 31%. And then after that, 16% are spending between $41 and $60. 6% are spending between 61 and 80, and four. Yeah, you're there. You're the 6%ers. At least you're not the 1%er, which I think would be good. Anyways, 4% are spending 81 to 100. 1% are spending 101 to 120. And hear this out, there's still a really slim amount of people that are spending over $121 on just streaming services. We're definitely not that 2% at the end. I mean, I don't even know how you can rack $121. At that point, you might as well just own cable and one streaming services of your choice.
Well, that's how you do it, because when I did the count, I got $141. If you have Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, Spotify, Fubo, Amazon, and Apple TV, that lands you at $141.
So at some point, you were the 2%er.
Yeah. Like if I well,
I guess you're making it right.
Technically, no. But if I paid for Netflix and I paid for ESPN, then yeah. But without it, I was like at one point I was a 1%er. Without it, I was a 2%er. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's. I think we also looked it up. So how much did we say like cable on average? I think so
we looked it up and it was like $140.
No, I think, well, it depends on the type of service, but I think we had it as $90 to $130 depending on what package you got and how many channels you think you can watch. So even if you're buying pretty much all streaming services, you may still be getting a better bang for your buck.
Yeah.
So I don't know if cable is the solution for me. Would you go back to cable if you find yourself that it's cheaper than the streaming?
That's a good one.
Well,
I
have
guess
you
it
ever
depends.
owned cable?
It depends.
You rich 1%er? Of course you were.
I did, but it was definitely the cheapest. I only had like 30 channels, which now I realize that I can probably get more channels just by getting an antenna and just putting it on my TV. But at one point I had about 30. And the only reason I got it was because with my internet package, if I paid $5 more, I was able to get cable, basically, and I was like, okay. And with that particular bundle per se, it worked because I was paying maybe like 70. I think I was paying $75 for internet and cable.
That's not bad, because internet right now I'm paying like 70. I want to say like $70.
Okay, yeah. So it's essentially as if you were offered
you
for $5 more. Yeah, you get cable.
Yeah, that's not
not like the
fancy.
Not over 100 channels, but you'll get 30 to 40.
But you see,
and I was like, all right.
Okay, so this is where. Okay, by the way, I know there's at least in San Diego, we're super limited on the cable providers and services and internet providers that we have. I want to say we only have realistically maybe two are the main ones, and
Cox and Spectrum or something like that.
I was gonna say AT&T and Cox.
There you go, and then 3 Spectrum.
Yeah, Spectrum. I get, and after that is basically you can go satellite route on this DirecTV. So, but I mean, more or less AT&T. I want to see AT&T and Cox are the
most common
ones that you see. So your choices are pretty limited, and then depending on where you live, you may just have really one viable option.
Mm-hmm.
With cable and internet, I think I would be paying way more because you're probably, like I said, we're looking at $90 to $130. So yeah, I can't see myself. I don't even pay that much for my phone in a month. And I feel like I use my phone more. And actually, that's another thing that we should mention. Now, with your phone, at least for T-Mobile, I'm loving T-Mobile. I made the switch from Verizon, but T-Mobile right now, because most mobile providers now, they put a cap on how much you can download or use of internet, right? T-Mobile doesn't count, I think, Netflix, so that doesn't count towards your your data cap of the month. I think it doesn't count like Spotify. Like there's a couple of like big time like streaming stuff that doesn't count towards your monthly cap. I never reach it. Like, I mean, we have unlimited internet, right? But it's we never reach the cap of like how much you can.
If you had the cap, you can because you can still see the analytics or whatever.
I think the way they do it is it's like they cap you how much fast internet you can get, and after that they just throttle the speed, but you still get decent speeds. But we have never reached that cap, and then they're nice enough that they roll over anything that you don't use. They roll over for So at this point, I'm never gonna, But thank you, T-Mobile, and going back to what you were saying, T-Mobile Tuesdays,
right? Which
you just found this out.
I knew of the existence. I just found out of the legitimacy of it.
So you thought it was a scam?
Yeah.
So Jona had. We were talking about this before the channel, but Jona didn't know you had the app right on your phone.
Yeah, I had it.
So, but he always thought it was not legitimate, or maybe the deals weren't like as good as they thought.
Yeah, I just thought it was going to be one of those like, free pizza when you purchase $100 for it.
Yeah. 10% off of whatever. No, but I was telling him that. So if you have T-Mobile, make sure you download the T-Mobile app. But basically, we have gotten free Domino's pizza without no purchase. We have gotten at some point we got free Popeyes, which hopefully their coupon comes in by the time we do the the challenge. And then we have gotten free Redbox. The movie rentals. That's like I think their slogan is like $1 movie nights or whatever, where you pay $1 a night and you get a Redbox. But anyways, T-Mobile offers you one free movie rental. And then we have also gotten free movie tickets, free. God, they're not even a sponsor, but they have giving us so much free shit. Free Whoppers, like free burgers, like you name it, they have probably given it to us. And it's all kind of like put into your, phone. Like you're not really anything. All they're doing is like doing marketing for a couple of firms, and you get freebies every now and then. IHOP, free pancakes from IHOP. So I don't think I need to buy food for a year.
Damn.
I really need to look. I really need to go to my doctor and get it. Get my blood
slowly killing you.
Yeah. But I mean, it's an amazing deal, dude. T-Mobile, if you're out there, thank you. Actually, they also give you free T-Mobile swag at least like a couple of times a year.
What have you gotten?
Nothing. I'm not big on T-Mobile swag, but it's nice to know that I can get it.
Just get it. See what happens.
Well, I think we have covered a lot, but hey, let us know how much you're spending on streaming. Apparently, some of us need to work on our budget.
I definitely do. I'm scared now.
And now I feel like, I make good decisions. And you have a lot of Netflix to watch.
I need to get on your phone plan and share some of your subscriptions.
Come on down. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
I'll continue later.
Later.